What's that sound? It's for amusement only, the EM and Bingo Pinball Podcast.
Welcome back to For Amusement Only. This is Nick Baldridge. Tonight's episode will likely be brief. This is the first episode I've ever lost due to technical difficulties, but I recorded the whole thing and was putting the very finishing touches on it, and then the power blinked, and my battery backup decided that it just wasn't up to the task and killed my computer. So, rather than spend all evening complaining about that, this episode is coming out late to begin with, as I was over at a friend and customer's house, fixing up a game, bringing it back to life, which is always very satisfying. And as I left, he was putting a few games on, just giving it a whirl. So I'm excited for him and hope he enjoys. For tonight's episode, I wanted to talk about Bally's Coney Island, which came out in 1951. Coney Island may be making an appearance at the York Show in the Bingo Row, the first ever Bingo Row. The York Show is also called the White Rose Game Room Show, and it's October 9th and 10th in York, Pennsylvania. Coney Island is a 3-card bingo. Similar to the 6 cards, there are 3 cards represented on the back glass. But this game is an advancement over the previous game, Bright Lights, Bally's first bingo, in that you can play for extra balls. So aside from being straight up 3-card bingo, 3, 4, or 5 in a row wins, you can also pay for the privilege of shooting an additional 3 balls. So with that, you have 8 chances to get your 3 in a row on cards 1, 2, or 3. Now the game internally has 3 different replay counters, 1 for each card, as you might expect. But this game is also interesting in that the reflex unit and the mixer unit came over from the one-ball horse race games. Bright Lights did not have those. Bright Lights was a lot more straightforward, though. There was no extra ball feature, so there was nothing to portion with the money that you're putting in. So for this game, they wanted to make it so that some of the nickels were eaten based on the amount of replays that you were winning, and that's what the reflex does. The mixer works in concert with the reflex to restrict the number of times that the extra ball unit can step up. Now, the mixer unit in this is different than the mixers in later Bally bingos. The mixer in this game most closely resembles that of the one-ball horse race games. Instead of having a large motor, similar to the control unit, which spins constantly, providing a steady 16 pulses per revolution, along with 4 different mixers and the spotting disc. This game has a single mixer disc. So, the gameplay, very straightforward. Again, 3, 4, or 5 in a row on any of the cards wins, and you can win on multiple cards. A couple other features which make this game stand out or relatively unique. The back box, instead of opening, hinged outward, so you open it from right to left. This one is hinged at the bottom, so you just fold the back panel down. That would be a whole heck of a lot more convenient to work on. Also, the control unit is mounted up high, similar to the position that the mixer unit would be in later games, but mounted in the middle of the back box instead of on the back door. Again, this would just be convenient for when you're doing maintenance. Now, aside from that, this was the first game with an automatic ball lifter in Bally's bingo line. Bright Lights had a manual lifter, and Coney Island added the automatic ball lifter that was used for the rest of the bingo machines that Bally produced. So, to put this in perspective, second machine that Bally produced in the bingo line, the first to use an automatic ball lifter, the first with extra ball play, the first with a mixer and a reflex unit. As I say, this game will hopefully be in the free play area at York. Now the artwork. The artwork is very attractive. It is a amusement park theme, as you might suspect from the name Coney Island. There's a cool roller coaster on the back of the back box, or on the sides rather of the back box, and the backglass image are some guys and gals frolicking in the river. Very nice, attractive backglass, and very nice, attractive game. Now, this game is quite a bit smaller than the bingos that followed after it, and that's because there were many fewer features and things that it needed to keep track of. But with all that, as I say, it does manage to keep track of the replays independently scored on each card. Fascinating game. Good player. I've played one over at Vic Camps, and if you've heard some of our interviews, you've heard us talk a bit about this game. Even with 8 balls, it is a challenging game. But it's a beauty, it's fun, it's fast, and I look forward to hopefully playing it again at York. Well, that's all for tonight. My name again is Nick Baldridge. You can reach me at foramusementonlypodcast@gmail.com, or you can call me on the Bingos line. That's 724-BINGOS1, 724-246-4671. You can listen to us on iTunes, Stitcher, Pocket Cast, via RSS, on Facebook, on Twitter at Bingo Podcast. You can follow me on Instagram at nbaldridge, or you can listen to us on our website, which is foramusementonly.libsyn.com. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll talk to you next time.